I know you're ready.
That I am going to rock and roll. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And thanks for hosting this evening, Kathy. I totally appreciate that. And thanks to any leaders that grabbed some people here on this team tonight or on this training tonight. So I am Belinda Ellsworth. I do training in the direct sales industry. I also do some consulting for some key companies, which I think some of you might be familiar with that. So, and I honestly can say after nearly 40 years of doing this, that I still absolutely love what I do, because I believe that this industry is a viable, incredible place, especially for women. So we're going to talk tonight a little bit about some mindset and skill sets. So I have taught skill sets for a very, very long time. In fact, that's sort of been my wheelhouse, is teaching people why they need to do something, how they need to do it, and what they need to say. And what I've learned over time, and especially during the pandemic, if any other time that there was that mindset is equally as important as skill set. And I used to go in and I would speak to like large groups of people, like a leader would have me in and come and speak to her team. And so there could be a couple hundred people there. And both ladies would leave on fire. And the leader would say, "Oh my gosh, Belinda, they left on fire. They're so excited. They're going to go out, and just make things happen." And then about a month later, I would talk to her and she would say, "Well, the one lady just has been on fire, blowing it up. And the other one really did not do much of anything. Nothing really changed. Why do you think that is?" And so I used to answer, "Oh, I think one must want it more than the other one. Like they just must be a stronger desire for them." And what I learned after time, though, is it really is the right mindset. Because if you don't have the right mindset, then any obstacle that gets in your way, you're very quickly to give up or to stop or to not continue on, to not press on. And so I've really, especially during since the pandemic, have really been trying to do equal parts of mindset and skill set. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And I am going to start out by talking about there's 4 characteristics that successful people have in common. So when I was designing the planner for this year, every single year that I designed the planner, a lot of thought goes into it. And when I designed this year's, like the 2021 planner, it was all about being intentional. And that is because it was a rough year and it took a lot of focus. It took learning new things. It took getting out of your comfort zone. There was just really a lot of, you just had to be intentional about your business if you wanted to continue to grow that. So when I was like, what's been going on with people and where are people? And one of the things that I soon really discovered is that one of the most common things, or one of the biggest things that successful people have in common, is that they dream big. They have big dreams, big desires, big vision for where they want their life, their family, their business. They're dreamers. And they're always looking to evolve into that next thing. Where do they want to be? Who do they want to serve? This is how successful people think. So what I discovered was that throughout this whole pandemic time, what people have done is put their dreams on hold. People have quit dreaming because they're in survival mode. They're like, I just need to get through this. And if I've heard anything once, it's 1,000 times, is I can't wait till things get back to normal. And in reality, I don't know that things are ever going to be exactly like they were before. And that doesn't mean that they're not normal. And I think we're looking or expecting things to be they were before, and nothing ever goes back to being exactly like it was before. And so the key that I want you all to go forward with, especially moving into 2022, is you need to start dreaming big again. So dreams and vision are very close to being the same thing. And we're going to talk about another common thing that successful people have in common, is that they set goals. So what I want to talk to you about right now, though, is Your vision or your dream is kind of your purpose or your why. It's why you do what you do. So it is got to be connected to a purpose or something bigger than just an immediate goal. So let's say you set a goal, for example, and your goal is to sell $4,000 this month. Let's just say. And let's say that you get to the end of the month and you've sold $3,200. Well, if all that was a goal of, I want to sell 4,000 with absolutely no purpose, nothing attached to it at all, then you could feel defeated at the end of that month. You could feel like you came up short. You can feel like, oh, it doesn't even matter what I do. Like, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to do this. And we can sort of have this mental attitude of, I just didn't do what I set out to do. But if it's attached to a purpose, then when you get to 3,200 at the end of the month, you're not feeling defeated. You're just like, oh my goodness, I'm so much closer than I was. Or I've got this figured out. Now I just need to do a little bit more of this. There's actually some energy around that. And it's all about your mindset and how you see it. So that's why having something attached to a purpose, to a dream, to vision is vitally important, even as you move forward and set your goals. So the first one is that people dream, successful people dream big. The second one is that they have enthusiasm. Now, I've been teaching this for the last 26 years as one of the key ingredients to your success is your enthusiasm, because it's contagious and people will mirror what you put out. So if you are enthusiastic, if you are excited, if you are really, you just can't wait to share with someone your specials or what's happening with your company, then people are going to respond very similarly. So if you're excited, they'll be excited with you. If you're passionate, they'll be passionate with you. If you are confident, they'll be confident with you. But if you are hesitant, they'll be hesitant with you. And if you are unsure, they'll be unsure with you. And probably one of the worst things of all is if you're lackadaisical, they'll be lackadaisical with you. And a lot of us, as we reach out to people, even for bookings, you might say something like, oh, Mary, I'm so excited. We've just come out with our specials for this holiday season. I can't wait for you to see them. There's so many amazing things. I know we've got a little bit of something for everyone on your holiday shopping list. And she says, oh, great. I can't wait to see it. Or you can call people and say, Mary, I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be posting my Black Friday specials. And if there's anything you need, then let me know and I can get that taken care of for you. It's all the way in we present ourselves is how people then respond. And many times people will say, okay, I'll take a look and let you know if there's anything I need. That's a much different response than I can't wait to see what you have, or I'm really, really excited too. And that is what we always want to be putting out. It's the same thing with bookings. It is the same thing with joining your business, looking at the opportunity. So we always want to be bringing our best game. So have that enthusiasm. That successful woman is a positive attitude. We're going to dive into. So every day, guys, you have the chance to wake up and say, because every day is a new day. That's the awesome thing about every wake up to a new sunrise. You wake up to a new day and it is filled with what? Possibilities. It's filled with really great things that lie ahead. And you have that choice on how you see the day. Like, for example, like I always, about 20 plus years, I keep a half a glass of water on the end of my desk. And it's just to remind myself every day that I get to choose. I get to choose if I see that empty or do I see the glass half full. That's entirely up to me. And when you see the glass half full, you're seeing your day with possibilities. What is the day going to bring? What could happen? You know, the best person I talk to could be the next person I talk to. But when you see the glass half empty, you look at your obstacles that are coming your way. You look at the challenges of the day. And many times, honestly, makes us a little more tired and not as what? Enthusiastic with the way that we see our day. So I want to encourage you to keep that healthy, positive attitude. Now, what are some ways that you can do this? Because this is, people say this all the time, but they don't really give you some strong advice on how can you really do that. I'm going to give you 3 little tidbits of advice. Number 1 is to surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with positive people. And positive people are people that are going to support you, encourage you, that believe in you, and are just going to lift you up. Maybe when you need lifted up, spur you on when things are going great. Now, if you've ever heard any other motivational speakers, they'll tell you, eliminate the negative people. The people that aren't going to support you, eliminate them from your life. And I've always found that to be an absolutely ridiculous statement, because some of those negative people could be some of the very closest people to you, like your mother, like a spouse, or like your sister. And so honestly, we're not going to eliminate these people from our lives. So it's kind of a ridiculous statement to say. However, what we have a tendency to do, and the only person that does this is you do it to yourself, is we have a tendency to go back to the people that we so badly want to validate us, and they might not be likely to do it. So if you keep going back to that well, hoping that they're going to say, oh my gosh, way to go, then that's your fault for keeping to go back. Now, I'll throw myself out. I'm going to throw myself under the bus. My mom, for years, I would go to her and say, oh, I just got this big convention. This is when my career was really budding and taking off. And there's like going to be 5,000 people there, and I'm so excited. And I would be so excited. And she would say a comment like, oh, who's going to watch your kids? And so she would just like take me down. And so, but I kept going back for that. And I kept going back for that. And I finally said, whose fault is that? It's not hers, it's mine. Because I keep going back to the well, hoping to get supported in a way that she is not willing to do. So I'm not going to eliminate her from my life, but she's not my support person. I go and I visit her, and we talk about gardening, and we talk about recipes. But you want to know what? I don't go there for validation or to be uplifted or to be encouraged. And so I just want you to make sure you have those people in your life. Identify who they are, but more importantly, quit going back to the well of the people who just aren't going to do it. My first husband was kind of like that. He helped me out with the kids when I was doing parties and everything like that. But if I ever said, oh yeah, I had a rough night tonight, or no one ordered, well, you should just quit doing that. So whose fault is that? So he would say, how'd your party go tonight? It didn't matter how it went. I said, it went good. It was great. And if it wasn't the greatest, then whatever. And when it was awesome, I'd say, oh my gosh, it was awesome. And just continue to move on. And if I needed a little bit of pick me up, I would call my leader the next morning, or I would call someone who was going to say to me, you know what? It really didn't turn out that bad. And honestly, half the time it's something because it's not the outcome that we want. It's really not even that bad. I was coaching a lady, and she said, yeah, my party was like only $350. And I said, okay, but we're there. She said, well, she only had 3 guests there. I'm like, are you kidding? That was awesome average per customer. Like, look at what you did do, not what you didn't do. And that's what keeping a strong, positive attitude and surrounding yourself with positive people will do. The second thing is surround yourself with positive, uplifting things. Like in my office right now. So what you're seeing is a green screen. It's not my real office. But I have like beautiful pieces of artwork that either I've got some that people have given framed scriptures. I've got another piece over here that's got like 50 different quotes on it, like uplifting motivational quotes. On this other cabinet over here, I've got pictures of myself with different leaders at conventions. And then behind me is where all of my children's pictures are. And some of my daughter's artwork from when she was little. And you want to know why? Because when I look around this room, it brings me joy. And if I am surrounded by positive things that bring me joy, I'm going to stay in a better, healthy mood and mindset most of that day. So that's what I really want to encourage you with. But the third thing I'm going to share with you is the most important piece that I'm going to share with you. And that is, as I started doing research, I was blown away by this, but successful people or people that have positive attitudes use gratitude journals. A gratitude journal is one of probably the single most important thing you can do to keep a healthy, positive attitude. Now, when COVID first happened, I'll be super honest. I remember that lockdown happened. And actually I was working with Mary and Martha, and we were doing the Shamrock Spectacular right at that time. And it was like, oh my gosh, we're going into lockdown, and how are we going to teach everybody when they've got all these bookings this weekend exactly how to do that and to gear fast up with plans on how to do that. But what happened with me in the next couple of days is I lost every speaking engagement I had for the rest of the year. Gone. 3 days, gone, wiped out. And so I was like, what are we going to do? I've got a staff of 6 people that I support, that my business supports. And it was scary. So at that time, I had been doing a lot of study on gratitude and journals, and I had several of them in my house. I was looking for sort of an example of one of how I was going to make mine to go alongside my planner. So here is the truth about gratitude journals. So these are some statistics. This is all of research and study. People that use gratitude journals, one, have a more positive attitude. They have an attitude of abundancy versus scarcity. Now, this is really important, especially in your direct sales business, because if you have a mindset of abundancy, then you are talking to people, you are excited. When we have a scarcity mindset, we're afraid to, like, when somebody spends a certain amount, we're afraid to say, oh, did you see this? Because we're like, oh, I don't want them to think I'm being pushy, or they're not going to want to spend that. The same thing is if you got a super great host or customer, but you think they'd be great in the business. You don't want to maybe tell them because you're like, oh, well, then I'm going to lose a really great customer. But in reality, you could gain an awesome team member. That's the difference between abundancy and scarcity. And so people that use gratitude journals typically have an abundancy mindset. And the other thing is abundancy and scarcity cannot live at the same time. They can't. If you're one, you're not the other. So you want to operate in that abundancy mindset. And the people that use gratitude journals have a 40% greater chance of achieving their goals. And I know, isn't that amazing? And it's because of all the things. When you have a more positive attitude, you have a more creative mindset. So you're always thinking of, oh, I could do this for my business. I could do this for my business. So it's actually incredible, all the details that I have covered in doing this. And doctors are starting to use gratitude journals in treatment protocols because they are finding patients are having a quicker recovery time from things like strokes and other debilitating illnesses that they've had. And so I've even had one of the ladies on a call like this, one of the leaders with another direct sales company, that said, I had a stroke earlier in the year, and that's what my doctor gave me, a gratitude journal, and said, bring this to every appointment. I just read today a way to, if you've been in a slump and you're feeling down, they said, go back and reread your past gratitude posts. And I was like, wow, I had seen that and said anywhere. And I was like, that's incredible. But there's lots of gratitude journals out there. This is the one that we designed this year to go alongside the planner. And this gratitude, last year we did like a booklet, and this year it is a full-on book. It is a flat lay binding, which is really nice for being able to journal in. It's got the 5 things you're grateful for every day, your wins of the week, but it also has prompts, and it's got different themes every month. Like this one is home. And then the prompt is like, what's my favorite room in my house and why? And it just helps people to kind of think about other things that they might be grateful for. So that's our gratitude journal. So that's a positive attitude. The 4th thing that successful people have in common is they set goals. And goals are benchmarks on the journey of your success. So like goals are just benchmarks in that vision, that purpose, the why you're doing this, the big picture. And I want you to think about it like this. If you ever planned a road trip with your family, like you're going to go clear across country, like we used to sometimes, we're here in Michigan and our family would head off and go to Florida. So that was a pretty big road trip across the country. And my dad would plan it out like, okay, we're going to eat here. We're going to try to get here before we spend the night. He always wanted to get to Macon, Georgia before we would spend the night. And so it was so funny because they were great benchmarks. And sometimes we would hit them, but sometimes we would all be hungry and we would want to eat before he wanted to eat. He liked to eat at a Bob Evans at exactly exit, blah, blah, blah. That's how he was. And so we would be like, no, we're starving. We want to eat now. So we would eat somewhere else. And then we might not make it to Macon, Georgia, and we might be somewhere in Chattanooga, Tennessee and spend the night. So what I'm trying to tell you is we didn't get there and stop and spend the night and say, I guess we're not going to Florida. Just because we didn't hit his exact benchmarks, they were goals. They were goals along our main purpose was to so because we might not have made it to Georgia to sleep or to Lima, Ohio to eat breakfast, we still kept forging on to Florida and we made it and we had a fantastic time. So if you can think of your business like that, if you can think of life, it's important to have that end big purpose of why you're doing it and then set your goals accordingly, but don't get defeated in them. They're benchmarks. They're things for you to strive for all along the way. And there are 2 key things about setting goals. And one is being persistent, which is what I talked about. You do not give up. Don't give up on your dream. And number 2, it's a close sister, and that is consistency. Consistency, the more that you have that within your business, the more likely you are going to forge on. Why? Because things come natural for you. I am very much a creature of habit. I am very much I work my business on a very consistent basis. I do certain things on Monday. I do certain things on Tuesday. I do certain things on Wednesday. So when my feet hit the ground, I already know what I'm doing. It's already in my mindset. Like this is what days are a really, really hard day for me. They're busy. They're like 12, 14-hour days. But you know what? My Wednesday mornings are light and I do that on purpose so that I kind of recover a little bit. But I don't get bogged down. I already know. So I get myself like getting an armor on and getting ready for Tuesday. And so I get prepared for it. And I also know that on Wednesday, it's going to be a light morning, that I have very few responsibilities and I can just drink coffee and relax a little bit and catch up on a few things here and there. So as long as you're scheduling things and that you are being consistent in that, just like being consistent with a content calendar, with your social media, when are you going to go live with your team? The more that you schedule those kinds of things, the more likely you are to actually go live instead of talking yourself out of it. So that is our 4 key things that successful people have in common. Now, as we transition into the skill sets, one of the things that is a little bit of mindset and a little bit of skill set is being prepared. Be prepared. This is where having a schedule is important. This is where making things easier for yourself is important, because this will keep you in a mindset of, okay, I can do this. So things like, where do your leads live? Have your leads at your fingertips. It's one of the reasons that we added the 6 or 8 pages at the back of our planner for leads. And one of the requests that we got this year is, Belinda, I always go back to my leads, but it's a little harder to find. Could you add a tab that just says leads? And I was like, absolutely. Like, what an easy thing. And it wasn't anything I thought of myself. I just had the tabs for the different months of the year. I'm like, absolutely, we can add a tab for leads. So you want them at your fingertips, because if you see, oh, I need to make a couple phone calls right now, and then you go to hunt for all your leads, you're going to talk yourself out of it. You're going to talk yourself, oh, I don't have to do. So make it easy for yourself. Have your leads in one place where you can readily get your hands on it. Somebody asks about the opportunity. Maybe you post a really great lifestyle post on your personal page. And then somebody says, yes, I would like some information about your company. You know what? You should have a digital opportunity packet on your desktop ready to go. You shouldn't have to go to your back office and hunt for a kit flyer or the compensation plan at a glance. You should already have an interest letter already written up and ready to go, so that with one click of a button, you're like, there you go. When people ask for information like that, they're excited. Something you said or shown or did is excited them, and they want that information right now. So be ready with it. Doing your online parties, events, gatherings, whatever you call them. So you're going to want to make sure, like, do I have my posts already figured out? Do I have a sort of party in the can that if somebody were to say to me tomorrow, I'd like to host, you could immediately start those going. And another thing that I want to highly recommend to everyone is you should have around 10 videos, product videos in your image bank or video bank that you can get your hands on quickly. That is the one thing that is probably more than any other single thing, is in those first 2 days of kind of your audience up, is post these 90-second product. They should be quick. And if you really want to do them well, I would even do it with a couple of items, like showing a little grouping together, and make them 90 seconds quick. And what we find is that more people will order from your event and more people will show up for the live portion of your event. So having some quick product videos, then you don't have to spend so much time when you do the live portion. You can spend a little bit of less time because you don't have to go over all the products. We find that people, if they see a 20-minute video, they might pass it on by, or even a 10-minute video. But if they see short 90-second ones, they'll sit there and watch all 8 of them. I mean, it's kind of amazing. So that's probably the biggest piece of advice I've gotten from some of the top leaders out there that are really crushing their online events. All right, so those are some ways for you to be prepared. So let's talk about now how to end this year strong. We have probably, honestly, about 30 days. If you go from now on November 10th to December 10th, most of your companies, like December 12th, around that 15th is sort of the cutoff for shipping. So really quick, I'm going to answer McKinsey's question. Should those videos be top sellers or specials or larger priced items? You should always have a good variety of your top sellers. And again, you can do little groupings. Now, if you have a customer special that you want to add for that month, because those usually change, or a host special, you could drop that in as one of those. Definitely. but that would probably change then as each month were to go on. But if you have your set product videos, all you have to do is change out maybe 1 or 2 of those in a given month. The other, so what we're going to talk about now is the basics of the business, which is booking, selling, and sponsoring. And so the first thing that I want to talk a little bit about is sponsoring, but we're really going to close with sponsoring. So I'm just going to kind of set the stage a little bit, and I'll tell you why. November and December are not 2 of the strongest months for recruiting or sponsoring. They just aren't. That doesn't mean that people won't join, because they will. Some people will join right now because they figure they've got a month and they could sell some products and sell for the Black Friday sale, and they could make some extra income. Absolutely. But the truth of it is a lot of people are buying from you right now. This is the larger buying and booking season. But this is the important thing for you to know, is you are probably going to be interacting with more people in the next month than you will in the whole year. I mean, like, you're going to be interacting with a lot of people. So even though it might not be the biggest month for people joining, it could be your biggest month for people looking, so that they become a lead, so that in the new year, they will be making decisions. So it's more important than ever that you open your mouth, that you talk about your opportunity, that you ask people if they would like to have some additional information. And we'll go over more about that at the very end. Couple of things that you should know, and I think this is going to be important going into 2022. And that is, right now, I think the guesstimated amount that they have is there are about 7 million women that have decided not to go back to work full time. They have decided that they are not going, or I should say this, they are not going back to the job that they had. That's probably the fairest statement to say. They're like, you know what? This was just really hard and I needed to be here with my family, but now we figured it out. Now what do I want to do? And a lot of those people are kind of sitting back, not even just in direct sales, but even in regular jobs. You've seen it. They're kind of waiting to say, what am I going to do? And so in 2022, a lot of people are going to be making some choices about what they want to do. 46% of those people are saying that having a side hustle or a part-time job or something they can call their own is extremely appealing. So having their kind of own type of business. And for a large part of those people, they think direct sales is an awesome choice. Now, I've always talked about the benefits of direct selling, but I want you to hear from them. These were the top 3 things that people said why direct selling is appealing to them. Number 1 was the ease of getting in, the ease of starting a business. So if they were to look at something else, like even having their own Etsy shop or doing anything like that, they've got to create a product. They've got to source a product. They've got to create a website. They've got to do some marketing. They've got to do all of these things, get a merchant account. And there's a lot of work. It takes time to set all of that up. But literally with direct sales, what? You can buy your kit. You get it within a couple of days. You get a website. It's already branded. You already have products. You don't have to source those. You don't have to ship those. You don't have to store those. And you can be off and running, bam, just like that. So that was number 1. Number 2, and this is huge, especially for a lot of you on this call, is they didn't want to take the time to build a brand. They wanted to join an already established branded business. And I want you to think about that. I know we've got a couple of different companies here this evening, but I do know that I recognize several of the names on here. And one of those is Mary and Martha, and they're owned by Dayspring and Hallmark. Those are well-known branded companies. So you need to stand on that. I know we've got some other folks in here with Zaya. Zaya is becoming a well-known brand. And so it's not like, oh, I'm just going to start selling leggings or activewear on my Etsy site. I mean, that takes a long time to establish. But here's the third reason. And this one is always been, it's so funny because in the 5 that I've always given, this one's number 3 in that too. And it's number 3 on this list as well. And that is the sisterhood, the tribe. I want to belong to a group of like-minded people that I can have fun with, that I can share with. So that is still holds true of everything that we've ever talked about. So we are going to move on and talk about bookings, but I will come back to recruiting at the very end. Bookings, and more bookings, guys. This is the time to like go big or go home, really. And I really want you to get in the mindset of how can I stretch myself? What can I still do? How many people can I reach? Like, let's pretend it's 30 days from now to December 10th. What can you make happen? And even if you do normally 3 bookings in a month, do 5. If you do 5, try to do 8. If you do 8, try to do 12. And here's the deal. There's so many different ways to do a booking. And we're just going to call a booking, a party, a gathering, an event, whatever you want to call it. It's more than one. Let's just say that. It's more than one person. But a booking could be a one-to-one as well. It could be a one-on-one shopping experience where you're helping that person either find the right clothing, you're helping that person decorate their home, you're finding that person helping that person with what? Their holiday gift giving. This is, you could call a booking a one-on-one. Now, let's say it's more than one person. So when you are talking to people right now, people that are doing in-home events, when you use the word party, they're thinking that's too many people. So that's something to be super careful of. And the other thing is when you're saying an online party, people are kind of like, oh yeah, people are kind of online partied out. I would really stick to, how would you like to gather a group of friends together for a unique, fun shopping experience? How would you like to gather a group of friends together for a fun, unique shopping experience? We could do that in your home. We could do that online. Or you know what? We could do a combination of both. If you'd like, we can invite just a few of your friends over, experience the products, and then we can invite the rest of the people that can't make it or that live out of town. We can put those on Facebook. So whether you're talking about online, whether you're talking about in person, keep your verbiage very simple. People are kind of overwhelmed these days with a lot of things. So the easier and more appealing that you can make it sound, the more likely you are to get those bookings. Now, here is one tip that I've always found especially helpful. If somebody kind of goes, oh yeah, I just don't think I can do it right now. Say, well, how would you like to be my holiday helper? And they're like, what's a holiday helper? It's like, just grab 3 orders and you can actually choose any item you want at half price. I have found that in most cases, those 3 orders will qualify them enough to be able to get that half price item, or you can, end up tagging that on to something else and getting them their half price item. But it is so funny when I would say, well, how would you like to gather a group of friends together for a holiday shopping experience? Or I would say a party, and they'd say, oh yeah, I don't think I can do that. We're so busy right now. Well, how would you like to be my holiday helper? What's that? Get 3 orders, get a half price item. Oh, I can totally do that. And it's just funny at the mindset of people. So I'm like, okay. So then they do it. And what is so fun is, especially when it's online, you can say, you know what, we could set up a little Facebook page, which is your group, right? We could set up a little Facebook page and you can invite your people there. And then I'll post some videos of some of our best sellers and then you can order away. Okay. So it's just simplifying things, guys. It's just simplifying. It really and truly is. All right. So that's a little bit on bookings. The other last thing that I'm going to say about bookings is you're going to be seeing a lot of people. And some of those people, if you're trying to get bookings into December, they're going to say, oh gosh, there's just no way. Don't leave it at that. Like there's like, oh, maybe after the first of the year, I'll think about it. Just say, you know what? I'm already booking into the first of the year. And in January, my company always has great specials for our hosts, for our customers. So why don't we go ahead and get that scheduled for you right now? She's like, oh, well, okay. So the thing that you want to get right now is those bookings for January. In fact, as you want it to be. I'm recommending 5.
I don't miss one, please.
5 for business. So with 5 people, that'll be a great way to get the year kicked off, but try to get whatever you're going to get by the 10th of December. And if you have if you can by the 10th of December, walk into January with a solid schedule, so goes January, so can go the rest of your year. So you really want to be solid on that. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is sales. It is extremely important. This is the time to get sales. So what are some things that you can do here? Well, you definitely want to utilize, other than doing your gatherings, your shows, your parties, that's a great way to get sales, meeting with people one-on-one. Your VIP group or your customer group is going to be the next best way. And what I would really encourage you to do, and you can do this either with your Black Friday specials, you can do this with, like, you should be posting every day from now to the end of the month, or even say from now to that December 10th. And you're like, every day, but you want to create some excitement and engagement. And some great ways to do that are to build some top 10 lists. Like, and maybe you can like go live when you're doing the Black Friday a couple of times. If you just post, here's all of our specials, people get overwhelmed in that. And you can still post your flyer, here's all our specials, but every day you could go live with one item on there. Every day, or you could choose a top 10 list of our most popular items and go live. You could choose our best top gift giving items, which could be different than the 10 most popular. In your Black Friday, you could do something very, very similar, but it's important that you just don't stick up a flyer and say, hey, if you want to order something, let me know. So we want to create engagement. We want to go live. Another great thing to do is is speak to people that buy for stores. So like reaching out to maybe a doctor's office, reaching out to a dentist office, reach out to, and just try to get 1 or 2 of these, somebody that you know has a staff of people that they're going to need to buy for, especially women, and say, I would love to help you with your holiday shopping. I'd love to make this holiday time less stressful for you. And I'd love to help you with your holiday shopping. And they're like, oh, now when you do this, you should already have a couple of items in mind. Do not just give them a catalog and say, here's your choices, because they're going to say, oh, I'll get back with you. Say, here's a great choice, here's a great choice, and here is a great choice. So this is extremely helpful to them. I started out, it was a lead that I got. This guy was an insurance guy, and he ran a big group of sales reps, as well as all the admin women that worked in the office. And he started out one year and he ordered 25 of one item from me. I went in and I said, here's this one, or this one. And if you order this many, or this many, you can get them at this price. And he said, I'll take 25 of that one. I said, okay. I wrapped them all up for him, took them in, made it super simple for him. The next year, I got in touch with him. He ordered 50. The next year, he ordered 75 of one item on the one day I went to see him. And I mean, that was an awesome order to have, like on December 1st. So this is how I got a lot of my December sales in, to make sure that I qualified, to make sure that I had, you get paid as, and that you're getting your bonuses. So that was just a great way. And so that built over time. You might get somebody that orders 10 of something, but reach out, offer to help people. Let me make your holiday shopping less stressful, and let me help you with your gift giving for your staff members or others. So I want to close on, there's so many other tips in sales, guys, but honestly, the best tips right now is you got to put the foot on the pedal. You got to put the, gas on it. And you just want to keep moving. Set a goal for yourself daily. How much sales would you like to have daily? Whatever gets tracked is what you will see as a result. It's important, so important. So
he's a real jerk.
Uh-oh, what do you do?
Over here, Gus.
In recruiting, the one thing, or sponsoring, the one thing that I do want to cover, and that is, we talk about the tried and true things that always work. And I always teach 4 basic keys to sponsoring, and those have not changed. And one is always, always, always invite people to take a look. And this is a difference between using hard word choices and soft word choices. The biggest thing that you want to do, the biggest tip I can give you in the area of sponsoring, is to create a safe zone for people to be curious. Create a safe zone for people to be curious. That means I can just take a look. So often we use word choices that people have a decision. You would like to get started. If you think this is something you would like to do, well, they're like, I don't know if it is or not. But if you use word choices like, if you would just like to take a closer look, if you would like to know more information, and I will give you one big tip. The one thing that's kind of going around with all the internet and everything is people don't like it when people make a post and then say, if you want to know what this is, private message me. So don't do that. Instead, you can make a great post and say, if you'd like to know more, comment below, or feel free to private message me. That way people feel like you're not trying to hide something, that you're happy to make comments right there. And a lot of times if people go ahead and ask something, answer it. That might prompt somebody else to ask something else. And you can get a thread of really curious people going on that comment. Post lifestyle things. Like if you're doing something special for your home right now, take a photo of it and say, I love that I'm able to do this because of my business. I love it that I'm able to do this with the extra income that I made this year. So make sure that you're making some lifestyle posts, or like flexibility posts, like here with my daughter. So glad I'm able to do this because of the flexibility of my business. So these are kinds of things that grab people. So make it super simple. And, one lady even said to me, I changed my language recently, Belinda, instead of just, do you want to, feel free to take a look. I changed it to, if you want to just take a peek at what we have available, let me know. And she said, suddenly that even changed. People saw that as less invasive, like that they had to really make a decision if I wanted to just take a peek. So I'm like, that's awesome that those word choices are working. So that's great. So the first tip is always invite. Number 2 is never prejudge. Guys, I've been doing this for 40 years and I do not have the ability to look at anyone and go, wow, she's going to be a good one. Or, wow, she isn't. You just don't know. Most people that end up doing good at this is their why is just pretty big. Honestly, they're like, my why is bigger than somebody else's, or my why is bigger than it was before, and I'm ready to do this. So never prejudge. Always open your mouth and talk about sponsoring. Don't say, oh, nobody here looks like they're interested, or I'm not going to talk about it today. Always create that interest everywhere you go. And number 4 is you don't have to always be getting recruits or people to join your team. You're always looking for leads. You're always looking for leads. I'm always building that lead pool. So that is some great sponsoring. So I am going to have to make this quick. I'm going to fly through this next piece because I do have another training getting ready to start here. So this is our 2022 planner. And this is our 5th edition this year. I think it is every year. It gets a little bit better in large part because of you guys. but this one has everything from your vision board to your big bucket list. Got your first 100 days in business, which is a great way to jumpstart your business. It has your vision board. It actually has your business strategy page where you can set goals and map that out throughout the year. We've added several new social pages. This is everything that you would need to do for your business page, your Instagram, your personal page, and your VIP group. We've got a copy of an example of a content calendar, which is really nice because that can help you to create your own. Then we have every month, we have a theme, and then we tell you what to focus on for the month. We have a really great place for you to fill in all of your big buckets for the month, like who you want to talk to, what products you're going to go live with. We have a place for all of your KPIs or your stats, because again, what gets tracked is where you see growth. So you always want to know what you are comparing that to. And there's a little icon here, and every single month, I have a live video that keeps you going every single month with little tips, with ideas. And so you don't feel like, oh gosh, I got started with this and now I'm not doing it. There are 21 training videos embedded into this planner. We have the month at a glance, and that also has the little accountability boxes for your power hours or host coaching. And then we have the weeks at a glance, which goes all the way to 9 o'clock. We added the things to do on the bottom, and you have your healthy habit trackers in that. That goes throughout the whole month. We have a bookshelf at the back of it. We have an apps and tools and resources in the back. We have a place for leads in the back. This is really more than a planner. It is a complete business system. So the planner is $48. We have kept our prices down, even though most people's have gone up. And then we have a couple of other items that come with our I Want It All bundle. So you can buy the planner by itself. You can buy any of these other items by itself, but if you buy the whole bundle, you get a great savings. So the other things that come in the bundle are the gratitude journal. So you get the planner, you get the gratitude journal, you get this leader planning guide, which is absolutely one of the most awesome tools in the industry. No one else has anything like it. So this helps you plan out your entire month with your team. It gives you challenge ideas, training ideas, meeting ideas. It has a little bit of everything, who you should be connected with, mapping out your strengths and weaknesses of your team, where you need to put your focus. So that's our leader planning guide. And then it comes with some accessory items like these great markers that don't bleed through the paper. You get a set of 3 magnetic bookmarkers and 2 sets of Post-it notes, as well as 3 additional pages of stickers. Every planner comes with one roll of stickers like that in the back. So that whole box, if you bought everything separate, is $154. And when you buy it all together in this I Want It All bundle, it's $119. So $119, which is a great deal. We do accept Sezzle, which is where you can split your payment into 4 equal installments. So it's like $29.65, and you can pay over time. So that is the whole bundle. And Kathleen is saying, then the summit. So we just completed an Achieve Your Dreams Summit in October. So anybody that had ordered up through October, they got free access to that summit. And it was amazing. We had 8 incredible speakers. And we are going to have the same in February when we do our Spring into Action Summit. And so the normal cost on that is $97. It's a 2-day event. And when you buy the I Want It All bundle, you get free shipping and you get a free ticket to that summit. So it makes the value of the packet about $266, and you get it for $119. So that is what we have to offer you this evening. There are some great little upsales in there. One of them is you can join our DSN membership group, take it for a trial spin for 2 months. When you buy the planner or the bundle, you'll be offered if you'd like to join that group. It's an amazing group for direct sellers. And then once you check out and already put your credit card in, you'll get a little pop-up that says, would you like to take advantage of one of these specials? There are 2 in there. One of them is our launch box, which has our direct selling for dummies book and workbook plus 5 additional courses. That's a $345 value. It is for $58. And then I have my recruiting made easy, which was an 11-hour course on recruiting. It's a $300 value, and you can get that one for $58. So you can get either special for $58 when you purchase the planner. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. We do have a winner. They are supposed to be here. So let's see if they are here. Oh, I do see them on this page. So the winner of our planner tonight is Julie Hall. So Julie, congratulations. All right. And the way that that's going to work is my assistant will reach out to you tomorrow, giving you a code, and then you will be able to go and order the planner. It'll come up free for you. And then if you want to add any of the other stuff I mentioned to it, you certainly can do so. So congratulations. Thanks again, Kathleen, for having me here tonight. Kathy Chatta, thanks so much. And it's been a pleasure chatting with you guys. So
thank you, Belinda.
Thank you so much, Belinda.
Thank you guys. I hope that you got some tips tonight.
A lot of great tips. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
So everyone, have a great evening.
Thank you. You too. Good luck with your next training.
Kathleen posted the link there a couple of times, so you can go there and order the